You don't have to yell at me. You don't have to yell at me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Paul, you ready?
You ready? Yep. Okay.
Good evening. I'd like to call the East China Township Board meeting for July 7th, 2025 to order. Clerk, please call.
Roll call Supervisor Westrick. Clerk Smith here. Treasurer Horn. Here. Trustee Bebuk. Yes. Trustee Klein.
Here.
Trustee Richley.
Here.
Trustee Babel is absent. Pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next item on the agenda, we approve the agenda as presented. I'll entertain a motion for that.
So move.
Is there support?
Support. It doesn't matter.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes, same thing, approve the minutes. There's a, the clerk put a revised copy that had the ordinance as read in the new minutes there, so just make sure you refer to that as well.
Real quick, could I, under board comment, under trustee Richley, could we eliminate the, what's there and just write, trustee Richley wrote in the response to the clerk's comments from a prior meeting, period. He pointed out that we are the only township in the county with a township manager, period. He also gave many examples of unprofessional behavior from the township clerk, period. And then just leave it at that. If that's okay, I'll make a motion to approve the
Where
minutes.
is this at now? You want to do where it says at the bottom there?
Yeah, that last paragraph. Where it starts at trustee Richley.
Going to the minutes, people. So what do you,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as corrected.
and what do you want to say?
I'll pass it down.
Are all the members in agreement with that? Changing the minutes? Can you read that again?
I can read
I
it.
don't think we have a meeting from TV last time to refer to, right?
We don't.
Yes, we do.
We didn't have.
I have the audio.
Well, I didn't have access to it. That's why.
We have audio only? Is that what it was? I thought we only had video.
It says trustee Richley spoke in response to the clerk's comments from a prior meeting. He pointed out that we are the only township in the county with the township manager. He also gave many examples of unprofessional behavior from the township clerk. I've never been asked to revise the minutes, so we don't quote. We're just, I summarize and put in what happened best that we can account.
I generally agree with that, but in comparison to the minutes of what I was responding to, I mean, you read a 2-page thing, I read a 3-page thing. Yours, I mean, where you lambasted me is pretty long. I'm just asking for 3 sentences. You had like 3 paragraphs, so.
If the board members are comfortable with that change,
Revise the last sentence before the adjournment. Trustee Richley spoke in response to the clerk's comments from a prior meeting. He pointed out that we are the only township in the county with a township manager. He also gave many examples of unprofessional behavior from the township clerk.
okay, this is what's going to happen if we revise the minutes.
I'm not in favor of revising the minutes. I mean, we can go back and review the audio if there's such audio and take it at that time, but what was said, I mean, and you're charged with that position of doing the minutes. If you want to review any audio or video that we have, or you say there's audio available, we can do that.
It's on my YouTube channel.
Okay, send us a link if you want to then. You comfortable with that? We'll table these minutes for now.
Well, how is the board going to see that? Every member?
Well, we're going to table,
I'll email it.
I mean, we're going to table those minutes for approval right now. We're not going to approve them.
I'll make a motion to table the minutes till the next meeting.
And then you can hear what is said and write what you want to write on it and leave it at that.
And bring it back?
Okay, is there support for the motion?
I'll support.
Okay. All those in favor of tabling the adoption of the minutes from the June 16th meeting? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No.
Me.
Pat and I are no. Okay. You have a majority, we will postpone those to the next meeting. If you want to forward the audio that you have.
Actually, it's 3
Wasn't
and
it 3 to
3.
3, so that means it doesn't pass?
Correct.
It's
It was you and I.
four for yes, and
You voted to table it?
There's only 6 of us here.
would you vote?
She voted no.
No.
I voted no. You
Oh, I
voted
voted
no.
no too, so I didn't know you voted no. Sorry, I thought you did. I didn't
Yeah,
hear
so
you.
it's 3 to 3.
So, okay, so it doesn't pass.
Right.
So we either vote to approve the minutes as they are
If that's what someone wants to
and
do.
vote accordingly.
We need a motion to approve the minutes as presented then.
I move to approve the minutes as written.
Is there support?
Yeah, I'll support it. Let's be done with it.
Okay. All those in favor of the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Well, that's what, 4 to 2 now?
Right.
All right. Presentations, we have 2, I believe, tonight. St. Clair County Sheriff, number 1, so we can get you on your way. You're back out on the road.
Hello, for those of you who haven't met me, I'm Lieutenant Santana Sheriff's Office. I've been there for just over, going on 17 years. I believe this is actually my first East China Township meeting, but for quarter 2, there wasn't any real notable incidents to report. We led again in, as far as the most calls here in the township for traffic stops, and then suspicious persons, which are pretty standard, because that just kind of encompasses everything. If we get a call about a car at a park late at night or something that falls under a suspicious incident, if it had been a crime, it would be categorized as something else. So those were our top 2. As summer's picking up with the higher temperatures, we're getting busier, but East China's been holding steady overall without any major things this last quarter. So we have festivals to the south and to the north that we've been participating in and everything, but those haven't really seemed to bleed over any issues here. So, any questions from the board for me?
No?
Thanks for all you do.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Yep.
Thanks for coming in.
You bet. You guys take care.
You have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Second, Ferguson Waterworks. Stephen Bear, is that correct?
Yes. Yep, so Steve's here from Ferguson Waterworks. The board had requested information on starting a new smart metering program, whereas citizens might be notified should there be a leak detected at their premises. So Steve works for Ferguson again. They would provide those services. They are currently our meter provider. And I'll turn it over to Steve, our sales representative.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for providing me a few minutes today. So we've been a provider for the township, I think a little bit over a decade for the water meter system and some of the drive-by equipment that you guys have. So again, my name is Stephen Barra with Ferguson, and we have been providing Neptune water meters for state of Michigan for about 10 years or so. Before that, we were Michigan metered before Ferguson bought us out. But so as far as East China Township transitioning, right now, you guys are doing what's called a drive-by system. Someone takes out reading equipment, drives around town, picks up the monthly reads once a month?
Once a month. It just depends on what cycle we're on.
Okay. So
Could be twice.
trying to move to an AMI system. What that basically means is some fixed network infrastructure gets put up in the township on township-owned assets, and the meter reads would go directly to these collectors, and the township would be able to provide and pull up those reads right from the office versus someone having to go drive by. So I know some of you guys are familiar with the systems, some of you are not. I don't know if your questions and concerns kind of match the survey of a lot of the municipalities that they did surveys on. But battery life is by far the number one concern. A lot of the meters that you guys have in the system currently is over a decade, I think. So they're going on years 11 and 12, and but that speaks to the Neptune product that you guys have been buying. The batteries are made in Israel. They're called SAF batteries. It's commercial grade. There's not really any other lithium commercial grade battery makers in the United States. So there's 3 primary ones. There's China, South Korea, and Israel. And Neptune gets their product from Israel. If you ever flown on a jet plane, chances are it has SAF batteries somewhere in the airplanes. Protecting your investment. So the quality of the water meter product that you guys have, again, vast majority will last more than 10 years. The vendor support, we provide a whole integration team for the utility billing support and some of the drive-by and other technologies that we have. Product obsolescence is a big pointed topic for a lot of municipalities because you guys don't want to spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars or even $1 million plus, and hey, in 2 years, it's old, right? So we'll talk about that. Compatibility with existing systems. A lot of meter vendors out there, you'll buy a metering product, and then 3 years down the road, they'll say, hey, we came out with a new technology. You're going to have to start buying something new, right? And then billing systems, I think we already covered that, but our software works pretty seamlessly with the utility billing system. And installation and maintenance. So how do we perceive value? We don't just go by the dollars of what the products cost, right? Do we have a proven product? Are we a strong partner, provide all the support that the township needs? And that's how we come up with the value, right? Because we're the only meter foundry in the United States, that's why our products are not usually the cheapest, but it's usually the best quality out there. So what you guys are buying from us is not just me, but we have a whole host of integration team. And what that means is that is your tech support team just for your meter reading software system. So if you guys ever have issues with utility billing, getting files transferred in correctly, looking for the right dial multipliers, all those type of things, we have a host of people that can help you out. So that's a little bit of who we have just to work on your system. Ferguson, we were founded in 1953. We do close to $30 billion in annual sales. We have a lot of different departments. I work for the meter group, and we only specialize in meter stuff. So, and again, our dedicated meter team, they only work with our meter team, the utility billing staff, just so that we're the best at what we do. So, some of the meters that you guys have in your system, they've been around since 1886. It is the only meter foundry currently in the United States. So if you ever get down to Tallahassee, Alabama, you can walk through the factory. They poured their own brass, injection mold, all the plastics. It's quite a process, but that's what you're also paying for. So we're talking about 4,000 utilities currently in the state of Michigan alone. Ferguson handles almost half of all municipal water systems for meter reading. Why is that a big deal? There's 9+ meter vendors out there, and all the municipal people, they trust us, right? Half the time. So that's a lot of systems. Next. So why are you guys want to take a look at our system versus maybe another competitor? Everybody's going to give you all of these things, right? You're going to get 4 billion reads over 20 years, alarms, leak detection, theft. Everybody's going to be able to provide a lot of these items, right? So why partner with us on your AMI system? So A, we're made in America. B, you don't have a licensing agreement, so there's no license frequency that you guys have to pay for annually. A lot of the other products, you have to have the field staff get extra equipment. They have to field program. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to get an endpoint active. It's very cumbersome, labor intensive. You don't have any of that with us. So that just means there's less training that you got to do for your system. We also have a project management team, so if we do move forward with your AMI collectors, our project managers, we have a whole team of them. They would handle the turnkey installation process of the AMI collectors in your system. Our integration staff, they are BSNA experts, so I believe that's the system you guys use for utility billing, and they can help integrate all your software needs. Forward migratable, backward compatible. So Neptune is hands down the best at preserving your dollars that you spend, right? So 20 years ago, they made radios, 21 years ago. They still, the ones that are still kicking out in the system, you can buy a new piece of reading equipment and read the old meters from 20 years ago and vice versa. They, by far, handled the best transition from old technology to the current stuff. So you have to spend less dollars today to get the same technology that a lot of other cities are spending huge amounts on for a full change out. We have almost every technology out there available. If you want completely cellular, we have it. There's a new technology that you guys will start hearing about called LoRaWAN. And our current RF systems, they're all like migratable into one software package. So no matter what technology that you guys want, Neptune has it, and you can just migrate it into the current software system. So these are some of the meters that you guys currently use. We do have ultrasonic meters that doesn't have any moving parts, less wear and tear, but again, the battery thing, once the battery dies, you pretty much replace the whole thing. The middle picture is what we are looking at installing. It is a collector box. There's a lot more to it. There's a UPS, power supply, a cable that goes up to the top of a water tower or a pole or something like that. But currently, you guys are using the items on the right. Your workers basically plug those devices in, connect to a mobile device, drive around, read, connect to the internet, and then they send up those reads up to utility billing right now. So if you see that little truck right there, that kind of represents what you guys are doing at the moment. They're driving around collecting the reads, and it sends up the reads into the cloud, and it goes back to Township Hall. What we're looking to do is kind of that water tower where the reads go directly into it, and you're basically cutting out the field text that just drives around and read. So that's essentially what a AMI system is. So Neptune does a neat little thing called propagation study. So they took all your service addresses, laid it over a topo map, and took all your township-owned assets, and they try to get the best results for the fewest collectors. So right now we're looking at 4 collectors. It would pick up around 95% of all the reads in the system. And then to get the other 122 meters that they're predicting that won't be heard, we actually recommend replacing those heads on those with a cellular head. And that should get you close to 100%. So turnkey AMI, after we install the equipment, we scrub the data, and then we help audit it, and then make sure it pulls back into your BSNA billing system correctly. And that'll be all part of the process. So once you give us the go-ahead, we'll install those things and make sure it works in the software properly. So, and in summary, this is why we've been a really good partner for a lot of municipalities around the state, is because we provide the support for the products that we sell. And we really do think it's a partnership, because once you pick us, you're kind of stuck with us for years, right? So our equipment can't read another brand, and another brand can't read our stuff. So that's why it's important. And you'll be buying the only meter that's made in America. You don't have to program it, so there's less work for the DPW guys. And it's right now, all your radios are sending out a fixed network packet that you don't have a collector to hear it, but it also has a drive-by packet that gets sent out. So all you have to do is put up collectors, and it's that simple. And we have in-house technical support. No meter vendor has a great tech support team, and that's why we built out our own, because we think we're better at it than all the manufacturers. And again, why you get the best return on your money, because everything that they make is always going to be compatible with everything that they make in the future. So, and that's essentially our AMI system. And I think it's important, if you guys have questions, please let me know. You guys have any questions?
Yes.
You got anybody else in the state using this system?
Yeah, we have, so most of Metro Detroit we have. So water, WRC, Oakland County, we have about 90,000. They use collectors with a combination of drive-by system, water for their gateways, Sterling Heights. Around here, City of Port Huron uses our meters. Fort Gratiot uses our drive-by system. They are
But
doing.
this system where it's automatic,
Yes, so they're mostly bigger municipalities that use AMI system, but I can get you a full list of them.
no, that's okay. I was just wondering if someone was utilizing it, if it was small places like us or the bigger ones, but you answered that question pretty much. The bigger
Yeah.
cities use the one that uploads automatically.
Yes, so we have tons of references if you need it. It's a proven system. It's been around for well over a decade. And there's a reason why people stick with this system, because the new, I guess the hot word is the cellular stuff, right? Like it just reports back to a tower. The problem is the long-term cost is huge, right? So Verizon, AT&T, they all charge X amount of dollars today, and none of them will guarantee a price for more than 3 years.
Right.
So in 6 years, if you're fully deployed and they said, you know what, we're going to jack up your monthly prices to $20 a read, right? You have zero control over that.
Yeah.
And that's why systems like these are popular, because they kind of protect you guys from that kind of issue. And there's a company called Badger and a company called Metron. Back in 2013-14, they came up with a 2G and a 3G product. During COVID, all those bands got shut off. So all of those customers that spent all that money, all of a sudden they couldn't get a read for 2 years because they couldn't get product for 2 years. So that's the type of risk that you're going to go with cellular.
Did we have the Badger meters for the large commercial?
We've had Badger meters in the past. We've
Right.
phased most of them out. There may be one.
Neptune was the main meter we've been using all these years, right?
Yes, I would say for the better part of 20 years, Neptune
Right.
has been the
Our main-
manufacturer that we've used.
So you're separate from Neptune?
Yes.
Or you bought out
No. Neptune's a meter line we distribute for.
the equipment, hardware?
Yes, and we sell for Neptune, but they're our preferred partner because we think they back up their warranties better than all the other guys, right? A, that's one of them. B, it's made in America. That's huge for us at Ferguson. And 3, it provides us a layer of being able to protect you guys, right? So in that scenario where Badger's like, hey, we're try these 2G stuff out, right? The cellular, it's the latest and greatest. We at Ferguson will say, we don't think that's a good idea. It sounds great, but it's pricey, 1. And 2, we don't know if they're gonna guarantee that band for more than 3 years or 5 years, right? So all the latest 4G stuff that's out right now, they're saying, oh, it's long-term evolution. Theoretically, in like 2027, they technically could shut that 4G band off and just go all 5G, right? But that's the risk that you take when you pick a product like that. So that's why we're a distributor. We're going to try to protect you guys as well, and that's where the partnership comes in, because,
You're the software end of it.
yes, we
the
also handle
hardware.
and the software.
So what I remember is they would go out and do the reads, they download it on a stick, they drop the stick off in the office.
Yep.
Apparently, they don't do that anymore.
Not entirely. Now they just drive around with that reader in their
Right.
car, and it uploads it into the,
Yeah, they just
into the
don't have a
cloud.
stick
The
anymore.
cloud, and then how does Irene get the information for billing?
She can upload it from the Neptune website. Through- is it
Oh,
Neptune
through the-
360?
okay.
Yep.
And it integrates with the BSNA software that we use?
Yes.
For billing?
Yep, and we always provided full support for that. We actually didn't charge you guys for years on tech support for the old loadable software, because the cloud stuff was coming, and they're going to charge a subscription, so. But yeah, any kind of meter related questions, please fire away, because it just, we're passionate about it, you know. As far as cost-wise, I guess, I didn't make enough copies, but it's on,
I could pull it up if you'd like.
it's on the second to the last page on the back. So for you guys to go to a different brand.
It's right on
let's
the
say,
last page, you guys.
Last page.
Oh,
To have somebody come in and swap all your equipment out to a new AMI system, we're gonna guess it's gonna cost you like 1.2 million, give or take. To get an AMI system going right now, we're looking at about $208,000 in infrastructure and additional meters for the ones that won't be heard. So that's a huge amount of cost savings, and that's what we talk about, the return on investment, right? And migratable items, because now you can put up collectors, here's stuff that you guys put in 15 years ago, and whatever you guys put in the system, those will also get the reads for you, so.
And Steve, is there the ability to phase in what we do with the repeater placement? You know, where we could get a large percentage for one capital outlay, and then the next year as budget renews, another repeater or another set of repeaters to capture more and more of our data until we're at that 100% level.
Yes.
And what that does then is gives our response time, it increases over time to respond to those leaks or tamperings, right? So Steve and I have not had a strategic discussion about timing, because first I wanted to, gauge your interest in this technology and your palatability to add it to our budget.
Yeah, it's really gonna bring you guys from being a reactive municipality in terms of leaks, where, they go out and take a read. You get a snapshot once a month, right? You still get leak alerts and those type of things, but it's just whenever they read. Whereas if you go to an AMI system, you're gonna constantly get those alerts, reverse flows. If you have a backflow event, someone's water heater backs up through their system, which I've seen, you're protecting other customers that might get, the backflow from that. And it sounds far-fetched, but I've seen it firsthand. And also, people that are stealing water, they flip their meter backwards, something like that. But especially the leaks, right? So if someone has a leak and they've been constantly leaking for 3 days, it's gonna alert you. It's gonna give you the ability to call up that customer and say, hey, it looks like you have some type of leak. You might wanna check the back of your toilet. Maybe the overflow is just going nonstop, but you can't see it in your bowl. Something where you
Once a
can.
month it's gonna alert you?
It's gonna alert
For
you
us?
all day, every day, if you go to an AMI system.
You set some parameters, and it'll allow you to say, hey, this house normally uses 500 gallons a
Right.
day, and it's using 2,000 now.
So it would alert our office?
So it would
Yes.
alert-
That it would
send
be
an
up to
alert.
us to contact the customer?
Right.
Yep.
Can you do text alerts to customers, or can customers?
So we do have a customer portal layer that you can add onto if you want to. We actually don't recommend customer portals, and here's why. So the average usage on a water customer portal in year 2 is 6%, industry average, right? So you spend extra money and you're getting 6% of your customers use it. City of Flint, right? When they got their huge amount of grant money, they ended up spending millions of dollars on the Badger system. So they replaced 28,000 meters at the time because it came with the customer portal, and that was their big selling point. And the guy retired. He came to one of our AMI system places, and he said, we went to the Badger because they sold us on the customer portal, because you don't have a choice with those guys. You have to take it. He said, take a guess out of 28,000 customers, how many people signed up for the alerts? You guys want to take a guess?
2.
7.
Wow.
28,000 customers, and you got 7 people signing up for alerts. So the only time people actually use a portal is to go pay your bill, right? For the vast majority. Like, I only log into my electric just to pay my bill, or it's auto-deducted or something. And you only care if it's out of range. And that's where you can be proactive on an AMI system. Utility billing, they can log in every single day or just stay logged in. It's going to give you that panel that's going to alert you, like, hey, critical leaks. You click on that, it's going to give you the list of people that are on that list. And they can contact those customers, whether it's 3 or 10 or whatever it is, and proactively communicate, hey, we're seeing this, you might want to check your stuff. And that's where the customer service end of it, you can be proactive. Your customers are going to appreciate you because, hey, my bill's not $300-$400, right? It's $60 or $80 or whatever it is. And that's where you're serving your residents.
Yeah, and what triggered, this initiative was a leak that spanned over 2 billings, between that month, between reads, where they got a $3,000 bill one cycle, and then a $2,500 bill the next cycle, and they're saying, "What? I just paid this. I thought it was handled." So, not a salesman, but just trying to help explain, part of the
But
justification for
you
this
could do
technology.
one gateway a year or whatever, right?
Yes, and that's the beauty of the Neptune system. You don't have to go all in year one. You can transition. You could do all or one or none, 2.
So you could spread this over 4 years and bring one gateway installation each year until you're done.
Yes, so that's an option. The only caveat is prices go up every year, right? So that's the only thing.
Now we're Trump here.
Well, so there's a few components in most electronics that, frankly, we just don't make here in America. So they do outsource a few of the electronic parts. We've heard another brand that's going to come up with a 25% tariff surcharge soon. So those things are coming because 2 out of the big manufacturers of meters, they get most of their stuff in Mexico. That's why they're getting a 25% tariff surcharge. Neptune will actually have one that's about 5% for the battery and some of the electronics chips, because we just don't make super cheap chips, right? Otherwise, they're going to be, $8,000 a meter or something crazy. But so yeah, tariffs do have an effect, unfortunately. But this is the most American-made product. That's why your tariff surcharge will be the lowest out of everybody.
Okay. Any other questions?
How long are these prices good for?
Probably 90 days.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the labor's good, so we're kind of beholden to the install contractor. So if their labor rates go up, we have to adjust accordingly. But yeah, that should be good for at least 90 days, hopefully.
Okay.
So we've been using the same contractor for a long time, so usually they're pretty good about letting us get away for a little longer than 90 days. But annually, we'll have to revise those numbers. And,
So we don't have to replace the meters now, all the meters?
correct, yeah. So all your meters that are out in the system, that's why we hammer on the migratable portion of it, because you work with a Badger system, you have to go to their cellular stuff. So you almost have to run two systems. Census, you have to carry around a blue box to read the old drive-by stuff that won't report back to a collector, and you have to put collectors up for their new stuff. So I know there's a lot of nuances here, but that's why Neptune's such a good partner for us, because they don't leave you guys stranded, right? You spent thousands of dollars a long time ago. It's as simple as just putting up their newest collectors, and it's still going to work like you bought it 20 years ago. So that's where they're going to protect your money. And if you need support, that's where we come in. We're gonna service the heck out of you. If you need our help, call us.
You may not know the answer to this, but that 122 customers you said we can't reach with the gateway?
Yep.
Are they all in one particular spot, or are they spread out?
They're spread out, so if you look at, just before that page.
Is there a map?
Yes. That
We're
is,
spending just as much for the cellular meters as a whole nother gateway, so I'm saying if you used another gateway, would you reach them all, but you won't?
yeah, so that's the balance, right? The issue is cellular endpoints will use up more battery power than traditional RF. So, and then the data fee, there's an annual data fee. The problem is you don't get to lock that price in for 10 years. Someone will say it's like 10 years, but no cellular carrier will offer more than a 3-year guarantee on that.
Right.
So you always have to be fearful, like, hey, is this the year that they're gonna triple my rates, right? So instead of paying, $30,000 this year in data fees, you might pay $90,000. So that's where the RF stuff, if it works for your system, I would use that and then sparingly deploy the cellular stuff to get the rest.
Okay, that answers my question.
And then the gateway, right now, we priced it out for a V4. They're coming out with what's called a V5, and it's gonna be able to pick up both this technology and the LoRaWAN stuff. So if you guys ever decided, hey, we're not getting as good of a range on LoRaWAN, or the current stuff, you can actually install LoRaWAN and you don't have to do anything different. It'll report. So LoRaWAN stands for long range, low power. It's supposed to penetrate walls and stuff a little bit better. So that's always gonna be a point for us to make sure you guys get that, so that when you do, or if you ever go to that newer product, you can use it.
Anything else? Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Okay, public comment? Anyone for public comment tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to consent agenda. C1 is the Park Commission meeting minutes for May of '25. C2, Planning Commission meeting minutes, May 25. C3 is the Marine City Area Fire Authority run report for June of '25. C4, St. Clair Area Fire Authority run report for June of '25. C5, 2024 Annual Retirement System Report, and C6 is the receptionist counter coverage approval that we talked about at the work session. Entertain a motion to approve the consent, so desired.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Been moved by the clerk, is there support?
Support.
Ms. Horn? Any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Disbursements, Ms. Horn.
Payroll, $68,549.83. Accounts payable, $708,487.22. EFTs, $30,504.22. E-checks, $1,025.22. Tax account, $585.26. Invoices, $92,637.97, for a total of $901,789.72. And make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay, been moved, is there support?
Support.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote. Treasurer Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Bebak?
Yes.
Trustee Klein?
Yeah.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Supervisor Westrick?
Yes. Thank you. Old business, ordinance number 332, second reading and resolution adopted, is to amend the ordinance 480, Article 11, medical campus districts. It's section 480-38. We revised section G to say veterinary hospitals or clinics subject to the following conditions. One, all activities shall be conducted within a totally enclosed building except for incidental outdoor activities. No outdoor exercise facilities or overnight boarding is allowed. And the other revisions, obviously, from G, H was down from G, just a renumeration of the bullets. And that is the end of that. So If there's no objections, I entertain a motion to approve ordinance 332 as proposed. I make the motion to approve that.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Clerk, please call the roll.
Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Bebuk?
Yes.
Trustee Klein?
Yeah.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Supervisor Westrick?
Yes. Thank you. Announcements, comments, I just have a couple that, on your place here is a presentation from Mr. Loper. We had our workshop, I had two of them, but the last one last week, and it's an amendment to the contract for the additional duties that he's going to incur. I want you to read over that, if you would. We'll put it on the agenda next meeting as a discussion item. And then, just as an FYI, we talked about it too at the last meeting. This is the letter that I'm going to go ahead and send to the contractors that did submit bids for the DPW building, canceling that. And I included a copy of the lease that I did execute with Verizon for the tower agreement that we had already approved, just so you have a copy of that as amended. And that's all I had. Add anything?
No.
Sandy?
I do. Let's see. Our township picnic donations came in a little less than would support the picnic. So I'm proposing that we take the funds that we did get and move them toward the locomotive, promoting the locomotive is when that's going in, like a grand opening or some kind of welcoming ceremony, dedicating that. So that's kind of the plan with that. We did finally get our $1,000 grant from the Bureau of Elections that went toward the security camera upgrades, because they were at the front door, some of them, they were, made the drop box more secure for voting. So we did just get that check. So that's all I have.
I'm sorry, I did have one more since it's my turn now, right?
Go for it.
Mr. Loper is also, he applied and was granted the grant writing training scholarship through SEMCOG. July 31st, August 1st, and he'll be attending that scholarship, so it's a free seminar to him, just the time away to do that, so that's a help right there. Get a, end of the month, get a good handle on how we're gonna handle all this stuff, so
Good.
that was in here too, I forgot to mention that, so, and that's all I had. Ms. Horn?
Nothing.
Set.
Ellen?
I'm just going to be quick, but on the meeting minutes thing, I just want to say that I wasn't asking for a transcript. I'm asking for accuracy. I think that the minutes of a meeting should be accurate as to what transpired at a meeting. And I think that for historical purposes anyway, and there should be a summary and not cherry picking of what is said, run-on sentences, which is what was on mine, but kind of made no sense when you actually read it. But minutes, again, should be accurate and unbiased. And so, anyway, that's all I got.
Just to help follow up with that, Alan, one of the reasons I was not really in favor of that is, when you see that on Thursday or Friday, when you get the packet, let somebody know, the clerk and whoever, and we got time to research that. Unfortunately, this time with the meeting problems, we could have maybe got the YouTube version, but that would give us some more time.
I did try and get the meeting to listen
You know.
to it after the fact for all the details.
Yeah,
I
and
spent a lot of time
that
trying.
was a
to do
problem with the recording, but if there is some objection to that, I'd really ask that all members bring that up before the meeting tonight, just like
Yeah.
anything else on the agenda. And then we have
Yeah.
time to research it and act on it, and we
Yeah.
can make that amendment then.
Yeah. In my defense, I picked up my packet today, but I read it on the internet, but I didn't really focus on the minutes. I was
Right.
focused on the other.
I didn't get mine till the night, actually,
Yeah.
so I was out of town. All right, and nothing else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Just support for that?
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, we're adjourned.